Hey, Stoat, be good, yo.
What's up, guys? It's been a long time, but this is the Blueberries Podcast. I'm Deck.
I'm DG.
I'm Nick.
You got the guy Nick in the corner here. He's gonna put his 2 cents in at times too, of course. We haven't had an episode in a while. I'm not even gonna number the episodes anymore, honestly, because it just takes up space when I put the title in. So, whatever episode this is, yeah. So, I think we spoke on the Mike McCarthy hire, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So we got to that point.
That was our last one.
So at least we addressed the coaching hires, and now we pretty much both agreed that we're gonna pretty much go. Like, I've seen guys that do this on a daily basis, and it's honestly like I click on their video for 3 minutes and then get off, like, because it gets repetitious. I mean, you literally have nothing going on. But we said we were gonna wait till something goes on, and a lot has occurred. As much as I would say that I'm not. The most important position in football isn't addressed yet, and that's annoying to me. Outside of quarterback, a lot has happened, so we're going to get into that. I'm probably going to let D take whatever direction you want to go. I'm just going to ride it out.
All right. Obviously, you guys know the news. We're obviously coming a little late, so this is not really going to talk about, who we acquired as much, but more about what they bring to the table. I'll start on the offensive side of the ball. We're obviously going to start with Michael Pittman Jr. My thoughts on acquiring him, for what we got him for, it was definitely a big steal. I think we got him, we gave up a 6th or 7th round?
It was something low like that.
Or something like that, which he's not, I wouldn't put him in that elite wide receiver group, but I would definitely put him at that upper echelon because if you go look at his stats, I think he only had 1 year that was under 900 yards. It was like a 700-yard season. So
he's like an elite 2.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, honestly, if he could give us 700 yards this year, that would be a big step up from Kenny Gainwell being our number 1. And I think he complements DK pretty well. 2 big body receivers out there. Going to go up and grab the ball, make contested catches. I like Michael Pittman's route tree. He don't got elite speed, but he got elusive speed. Overall, it's just it's refreshing to know that we're not going to be going out there with Scotty Miller and guys of that caliber or just old vets. So obviously that's good to see. Whoever the quarterback is, they will be utilized with better weapons. I guess that's all you can ask for at this point, where we're at in the offseason. So starting there, I really like that pickup. What he brings to the table, like I said, contested catching, experience. He was in a loaded Colts receiver room. Well, I wouldn't say loaded, but a pretty good receiver room for the Colts with Josh Downs and Alec Pierce. He wasn't a guy I was thinking of because honestly, he wasn't even talked about as someone that the Colts was really going to get rid of. So he probably wasn't on a lot of people's radar when it came to wide receivers. But I was a good pickup. He's one of those guys where he could come to Pittsburgh and maybe thrive a little bit more because he'll be more of a focal point. Obviously, the Colts got Jonathan Taylor. That's a big part of their game, and playing off of him. Second, I almost forgot. Do you want to speak on Michael Pittman and go like that, or?
I'll quickly,
Go ahead,
hold your thought, because I guess, I'll be honest, guys. I knew who he was, but I wasn't up to date fully on him. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, as a Pittsburgh fan that does, look across the league, he wasn't on my crazy radar. Kind of like D said, though. Like, I knew he was a dependable guy. I kind of put him in, from watching him from the outside, I kind of put him in like a traffic catching. Like he's not like Juju, but I put him at that level when Juju was like producing. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
like, he's not a guy that you're like, oh my god, he's the number one. But and I'm definitely not saying he's Juju now. Like he's better. It was a very good pickup, but I just more or less mean from the outside looking in, like acquiring him wasn't something that I like went crazy over until I kind of really looked into him more and was like, okay, I didn't go crazy, but yeah, it's definitely a very good pickup. Being that I think we will acquire a round 1, round 2 guy in the draft, and we'll get into the draft, but I think he's very like can be the heart and soul of the receiving room based on the fact that I think DK is a guy that thrives off of others better than just being like a solo producer. Not that anybody could do that in the league. There are names, but DK is not that one. He's not far away from being a 1B guy.
There you go.
Is what I'm getting at. Like DK's a 1B in my head. On the Seahawks, he was in my head. Like even people less talented than him, he's just not the guy all the time. So I think Pittman could even be better than DK. I really do. So that's why I'm excited on the receiving room right now, because I see two guys that I think would really flourish if we had like a George Pickens type talent type guy in the top rounds come in and get loose, pretty much do his thing. So Michael Pittman, I'm pretty happy on him, mostly his background too. Like I'm not the biggest like you have to be a certain type of dude to join the team. I mean, I want Stephon Diggs right now, so I don't care what you do at home. I don't care what your name looks like in the public eye. Obviously there's exceptions, like if you're really wilding, but my girl said she's been following his wife for years for whatever reason. And that they're like, a really Christian family. They're like real farmy. Like they just are very low key. He ain't gonna bring zero diva attitude at all. As well as DK. As much as DK stands on his own 10, he's not like a diva in my eyes either. So I really like the two guys that are holding our team together in terms of receiving, being guys that if a round 1 guy were to come in and flourish, I don't think they would be looking like, where's my catches, maybe to an extent, but just not to that point. But yeah, just the Pittman pickup as a whole, all positive, green check mark. There's no negatives to it. The money doesn't make me second guess it. The fit seems there. It definitely seems like a fit. And yeah, I really have not much to say over the Pittman stuff other than I could definitely see him being like one of our best receivers in the last however many years, just because of what I've watched on tape. He's a hustler. He's a grinder. So.
I say DK is a more popular name, obviously, but I'll say caliber-wise, they're about the same. I think however long we had, I don't know how long we signed Pittman for. I gotta go back and check, but forever how long we do have him, I think it's like he's one of those guys where he could have a year where he's leading and receiving, DK could have a year, because they're pretty much at the same level. Now for our next pickup, I'm going to talk about before we acquired him. Obviously, if you're a Steelers fan, you understand how much Kenneth Gainwell produced for us. So seeing us get rid of him was kind of like baffling at the time. But then when we got Rico Dowdle, I kind of
understood.
I mean, Rico Dowdle, getting him is like,
he's a better running back for sure.
That's a great pickup. What Gainwell did out of the backfield is kind of like what made me so confused why we got rid of him. Dowdle's, he's decent out the backfield. He's not Gainwell out the backfield, but running the ball, he's a monster. He went for 1,000 yards the past 2 seasons. So him and Warren, I'm sure Warren's excited, but I wonder where Warren's head's at. He might think like, dang, like, am I ever gonna be just the guy? But I think in the league, it's popular to have 2 dudes now. So 1A, 1B. I say that's a 1A, 1B scenario. If you watch what Dowdle did for Carolina, I mean, he was a monster. So I love that pickup. I like what McCarthy's doing. I think he's already showing his offensive prowess and
for sure,
his knowledge on the offensive side of the ball. So that's probably my favorite pickup. Pittman was a great pickup. I think he could end up being people's favorite pickup, but off the bat, I think Rico Dowdle, like, he's just one of those guys. Like his cuts. He's a one cut guy. Get downhill. He could get out of here. I mean, I think he had. Don't quote me on this, but 4 or 5 touchdowns over 30 yards last season. So he could be a home run hitter for you. He could be a guy that gives you chunks. I can't remember who it was against, but I think Miami. He had a 200-something yard game. So
he went off. I remember.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. So
yeah,
I'm excited
legit.
to see what he brings to the table. I think he's wearing, what number is he wearing? A weird number.
Yeah, I don't like it. He was wearing 3, right, in Carolina, or 9
He's
or
wearing
something.
5. But
now he's wearing like 13 or something.
Yeah, something like that. But we'll see how he rocks.
I don't like the number, but yeah, I'll speak on that. Just I saw a talk show host, not even a talk show, a radio guy. I heard him, I should say, speaking on the Kenneth Gainwell and whatnot, which of course I was a big Kenneth Gainwell guy, mostly when he started producing at that level. My thing on that is I heard a guy talking about this and he made some good points. These aren't all his points, but I scattered in. Dowdle and Kenneth Gainwell are very different players, although there's like explosion in both. I think Jalen and Dowdle are going to make more sense as a 1-2 punch than Kenneth and Jalen, because I think Kenneth and Jalen were more like, and that's not to say Jalen is that explosive outside of the backfield. He's obviously kind of a bowling ball guy too. When he gets a cut, he's going to run through a lot of people. But he's very good out of the backfield, very good pass blocking. He's been a big third down guy for us over the years, and I think a lot of times this year he got stripped of that opportunity based on Kenneth's attributes and his athletic ability. But like he said, when you look at Mike McCarthy's structures, like in the past, from what I've seen, he likes guys that'll just get down and get the yards. Get a little less pretty and a little bit more upfield. Obviously, today's NFL, you're not just gonna have Jerome Bettis back there. I more or less mean I think it fits his offensive mold more, because Kenneth Gainwell is almost a guy that you have to give attention in the slot and whatnot. You have to move him around a bit more, and I think they're gonna try to let the receivers do that. Obviously, you want an A-back coming out, but I think Kenneth Gainwell was almost like, he's almost better fit on a team that has a bit more like RPO maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly how to put it.
Him and Bucky Irvin and Tampa Bay is gonna be a nice duo.
He's gonna be good.
I think Gainwell's he pretty much made his stamp on what he's going to be in the league, which is he can move around a lot, but he's gonna be very useful wherever he goes. So
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna miss Kenny G. Me personally, because I think when we were down, he brought a lot of bright spots to us.
He did. It was a great 1 year from him. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously not gonna go down as like a Steeler at this point, but it was really cool to see a guy that wasn't like, even me, I was saying that KJ and Warren were going to get abused of a lot, and he was just going to be what I thought he was going to be, a spell guy that showed us a lot of crazy stuff at times, but he was consistent with it. He was so consistent with being a reliable, honestly, wide receiver 1 at times.
Yeah, I say he's a usage back. I say he's the more usage you get from, the more he's going to produce. That's the type of back he is. I don't know if he could ever carve out an RB1 role, but again, he's not on our hands no more, so I wish him the best. But I'm excited to see what Dowdle does.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with Dowdle, acquiring him. Sorry, I'm a big Jalen Warren guy. I got a buddy that's like overly up the top, loves Jalen Warren, and he seems to confuse me with someone that doesn't like him because I say the truth, or at least what I see the truth as in terms of NFL execs and a whole new coaching staff evaluating him as well. It seems as if no one takes Jalen Warren as a RB1. And that's fine. You could be a very good 1-2 punch guy. It doesn't necessarily say they're calling him a 2. He's just a 1-2 punch guy. And like I've said to my friend as well, like that, well, he said it. It's a trend in the league to have 2, and he also just said that. But at the same time, if Jalen Warren was the brute of the carry guy like Najee in the past, then it would be apparent, right? There would be a little less confusion there in the running back room. And there doesn't need to be a definite, this is the guy, this is the bell cow guy. But I think I think Jalen Warren should have a guy on his side at all times, because he's, I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's a bell cow. What this means for KJ, hopefully just learning from guys another year and trying to break through that mold eventually, because I do want Caleb Johnson to be a big back in this league. I mean, he's huge. He has explosion. I think I'm not giving up on him. Another guy we're not talking, I guess since we're on offense, another guy we're not going to give up on is Roman Wilson. Yeah. We spoke on that before the pod started. I think these are pretty much the points we both made, but he's coming into a year with more leadership in the room, as well as something to prove, I'd hope. So, I mean, there's much to be said, but there hasn't been any stats. I mean, obviously late game stuff, garbage time touchdowns, but I'm waiting for him. I'm not like relying upon him to do something crazy, but I'm waiting for him to break through a certain mold and be like a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 type of guy. But
yeah, so my role for him is hopefully he's someone that can step in with confidence. That's the main thing I'm looking for him, is just don't look like you're just a guy out there. Produce in some type of way. Find your mold. Find what the team needs from you, and embrace that role. And I think if he does that, he could be a good wide receiver for us. Obviously, having the 2 dudes we have, he's not going to be the number 1 or number 2 guy, and that's okay. But I think he could possibly carve out some type of role for this team. Obviously, that has to do with his usage, how much we use him. To go back on Caleb Johnson, I like Caleb. I thought he was gonna have a bigger role than what he did. Obviously, if you've been with us from the beginning, I kind of thought he was gonna take over that running back room.
me too.
Obviously, I was wrong on that, but that doesn't mean that he, like Dex said, he can't learn, and he the tools are there. Again, with him, when you're a rookie, it's hard for your confidence to be all the way up when you're kind of on a team that is established in the area that you're coming to the table.
Yeah.
And that's what we was last year. So I don't think he really had a chance to prove himself. We kind of threw him in a little bit. Obviously, I do think the mistake he made against the Seahawks kind of cost him that rookie season, because it cost him at the end of the day. Making a mental mistake like that at the time of the game we was in against the Seahawks, I think they kind of punished him for it a little bit. I'm excited to see how McCarthy decides to use him, if he decides to use him. I'll talk before we go to the defensive side of the ball, which I'm excited to talk about that. I want to say, speak on Samalu, guys who departed from us, and what that kind of like, if it hurts or not. Samalu was good for us, but I think we could fill that void. Obviously, he had some injuries, so we had to have Anderson step in there a few times. Same with Broderick. We're kind of not sure of what we're going to get from those tackle positions. Fautanu is going to be one of the guys who holds it down on the right side. We're still looking to see who our left tackle is going to be, but
Rodgers, before his injury, was pretty good.
He was pretty good, but I also think that stepped in for him, honestly, played.
David Anderson?
No.
Spencer?
No. God, y'all know what I'm talking about.
I thought it wasn't Anderson. Nick, you're supposed to be the look it up.
I forget his name. Anderson.
This is what we've always had. If the third guy's here, he's our numbers.
He's our fact checker.
Yeah, bro.
He's not doing his job.
Can you look up who the starting left tackle was for the Steelers after Broderick? I swear his name was Anderson or something.
No, that was Spencer Anderson.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I'm gonna come up with it before he gets it. Danny Smith? Cook. Dylan Cook. Danny Smith is
Dylan Cook.
We picked up, what's his name, just a couple days
We
ago.
did pick up a
tackle?
Yeah.
Was it tackle guard? I can't remember.
He's a position flexible guy though.
From
I believe.
Cowboys.
The Eagles?
One of the two.
We got someone from the
Jack
Cowboys.
Driscoll?
Yeah,
From
Cowboys.
the Eagles, I
Did he
think.
come from the Eagles?
Yeah, I think he was drafted like 2020 from the Eagles.
He was a high draft pick too, I think.
I could have sworn. It was the Cowboys.
Yeah,
You gotta fact
I'm
check
a
that.
fact
Fact check that. Yo, fact check that. It's like no, but moving on to the defensive side of the ball. I'm gonna spark it off with, because I know who he was. I know. He's excited to speak on someone on the defensive side of the ball, because he told me he wanted him before we even acquired him. So I'm gonna start with Jamel Dean. That was a great pickup for us. Right? when you think about the guys we signed the past couple years, not to throw slack on Ramsey, I think he had his moments last year. Pro Bowler, maybe a little bit because of his name, but he was good in spots. And Darius Slay, he was dog shit for us.
No play Slay.
Yeah. So
no play Slay is crazy.
He was pretty bad, and I can't remember who we grabbed the year before that. So the trend of like getting guys who are
like
decent.
Patrick Peterson.
But what I was Patrick Peterson. That's who it was. So if you're not like a ball knower, then you might think Jamel Dean's that type. Because if you look at his age, 29, you might be like, oh well, he's kind of. Nah, he was actually the #1 graded defensive back in the league last year. Had a pick 6 last year.
He's like 4th in something too. Like that was really crazy. Like one was crazy. Obviously,
he's a playmaker. I think he's another long guy out there. So you got him and Porter. I think Porter is going to really stamp the league this year. I think he was doing it towards the end of the season. Obviously, we are not making that big run in the playoffs. It's kind of hard to get the spotlight, even though we are the Steelers and we are probably one of the most watched teams. It's still hard to get that spotlight. And, a lot of people say he's a whole merchant, which I think when the refs started letting him play, when they stopped calling the ticky-tacky stuff, you see what he brings to the table. A guy that just doesn't get beat, hasn't given up a touchdown in 2 years. So that's the first pick we're going to speak on. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Before I even mention who he was talking about, I will say shout out to Asante Samuel Jr. too, because that was a great pickup, and I'm honestly surprised. Obviously, he didn't put that much on film, but we got him for real cheap, and I just think that guy's going to be I think he's going to be the real deal eventually. Maybe with Dell's, like, he's going to get older. Maybe that's their...
And he's young.
Their idea.
He already was at the top level when it came to cornerbacks. Obviously, the injury made people hesitant to grab him, but he was productive for us. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. And that's what I mean with him is, like, that's not even honestly, I was cool. Like, I'm not saying I know football like some of you watching this or a lot of other people, but I was cool with Asante being our cornerback too this year going in, just because I have that faith in him from what I've seen. And we lost Pierre. I also wanted that to be a possibility, not necessarily starting, but depth-wise, which that's the loss. But with the addition of Jamel and you got, of course, Asante and JPJ, yeah, I ain't tripping now. Shout out to Pierre. Obviously, I want him to do good, but he's not on my team no more. But yeah, he was talking about Jaquan Brisker, which Whippeal guys. Obviously, when I see them and they're good, first of all, which they always are. Shout out to the Whippeal. That's like the first appeal. But watching Jaquan Brisker, for some reason, I found myself watching a lot of Bears games over the past couple of years, and that dude, in my opinion, we got him for dirt cheap. Like, I don't know how somebody didn't give him a long-term contract. But this dude got me thinking, like, Deshaun Elliott can take a bench ride. Like, and I know that's crazy. Deshaun's my guy, but, bro, Jaquan Brisker, oh, my Lord. Like, that's the craziest. Like, I've been saying I wanted him, and I didn't think it was going to happen because of our depth in the safety room. Now, he's a strong safety. Deshaun's a strong safety. That's kind of dicey because I would love, on paper, if he could play free and Deshaun play, And obviously, we got Jalen, but I like Jalen a lot. I just don't know if he's going to be, how he's going to be used. I honestly could see him going back to nickel for us right now based on the fact that it's a new regime. He played good at safety at times.
I would love Ramsey at nickel. Obviously, having Dean, Porter, and Ramsey, 3 long guys out there. It's a lot. That's a lot of field that they're going to cover. Not to cut Deck off, I'm going to get back into his point. With Brisker, what we're going to get is physicality. We're in the AFC North, so seeing him be in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform is kind of like, it makes me feel like the rivalries with the Ravens is going to be even up a more notch because, like, I know he said what he said about Elliott.
I love Elliott.
I know he does.
I'm in the middle now.
Elliott, he showed me too much these past 2 years. Like, when it comes to hitting, when it comes to playmaking and coverage. So he's just not a guy that I could just be like, throw so-and-so over him.
I more or less packages.
Yeah, but I think the thing with Brisker is he's going to be very versatile. I think you'll be able to put him in the box when you want to. I think you'll be able to utilize him in a lot of different ways. Kind of the same way, like, he is a strong safety. So same way that we use Elliott, but I think we could give him an advanced role with our linebacker room being as thin as it is, and we'll speak on that too a little bit because
I think he has a better chance playing, like, if he had to play more of a free he's a better free than Deshaun.
He's not that.
He's more of a
I'll
ball
say
hawk.
he's not that great in coverage though. Like he is a ball hawk. He does make plays. If you go watch the tape, you'll see that. But when it comes to actually guarding
Like
man to
full
man and stuff
one-on-one
like
type,
that,
yeah.
he's not the fastest guy. He's very rangy though. He's kind of what I think a lot of people thought Isaiah Simmons would be coming out of the draft. He's a real talented dude. So
Yeah, I'm so surprised that we got him on a one.
honestly, I am. I think that had a lot to do with him wanting to come back home. So I think maybe he did have some other offers out there on the table, but ultimately I think he wanted to come back to Pittsburgh. I just seen a tweet saying that I seen the tweet saying that he was calling his mom before he even signed. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to be a Steeler. Like,
Which is lovely, that's
so-
great to hear, man.
yeah, he's a hometown guy who and I also heard that he's never even actually been in Acrisure Stadium ever.
Oh my God, he didn't play there in high school.
No, so I guess this is like first home game is going to be the first time he never even came to a game before, so it's going to be his first time ever being inside of he might have already been in there now. I'm talking about game experience.
And the Tomlin era is over because he got number 3, and I ain't gonna lie.
I like that.
If you ain't like pro crazy, Tomlin wasn't giving you a single digit regardless of where you played at, unless you were obviously like kicker.
Ramsey.
Ramsey,
that's the only
and
guy.
that's the name. But Brisker came in with 3. That looks tough. Yeah, I'm gonna get a jersey.
I like the young guy. I think we picked up a lot of. In the past, I think we kind of hyped up the guys we got as much as we could.
Who's the D tackle we just picked up?
I think we hyped up the guys as much as we could with the signings we got in a couple years past, because we did sign some big names and but production wise, I think this is by far the best.
And
even though
youth,
it's early,
youth involved too. Enough youth because a guy like Jamel, he said he's 29. I didn't even know that, but that's not I don't think that's as crazy as like Jalen Ramsey's like 33 or something crazy. And I'm glad we got Jalen. Don't get me wrong, he's the best corner of my generation. I'll ever see it, at least till this age. But he's not what he used to be. So, but yeah, Pittman is still on the up and coming. We got guys that are looking to prove themselves rather than guys that are coming in showing all their stripes and saying, "Put me somewhere, coach." Sebastian who?
Sebastian Joseph.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So
We
we
got
got
the Titans. Oh, that was a good ass pickup.
That's
I forgot about that one.
A guy that's in a
He's
D
young.
tackle
He's
room
young, too.
or a D line room that I think needs some versatility on the interior. Obviously I'm hype about Harmon still and YA. Obviously, guys that we already know we got something in.
We
Keanu.
signed back 93 too. I don't. If you gotta be a real Steelers fan to know.
You white?
No. He was kind of undersized on the D line, but he caused havoc when he was in
Yeah.
there. So 90, he got a wild last name, so I'm not even gonna try to butcher it.
He's typing over there.
But that was a good sign back. That was a good sign back for us.
Atomwo?
Yeah.
Atomwo?
I know who you're talking about though.
My
Yeah.
bad.
He was
Yeah.
good.
He was
Our
good.
D-line, that's a really good signing because we needed something pre-draft. We needed a pre-draft pickup on the D-line, and that was a great one.
We
Nothing to write home about, nothing crazy, but it's definitely very good versatility.
extended Cam out too.
Yeah, which
Shout out to Cam. He balled last year.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate on it.
it saved us money. Yeah,
We re-signed Cole Holcomb. I'm not gonna go into every single signing because Holcomb didn't really bring what he was supposed to the table. Obviously, we put Malik Harrison in his Malik Harrison kind of took Holcomb, man. Honestly, towards the end of the season, paying Wilson's role a
which
little
is crazy.
bit. Wilson is just for him. It's not a question of a motor. It's not a question of athleticism, talent. It's he's undersized. I think that's one thing he got to take a little bit more serious this year. I say get to the 240 range. If I look at him, he's probably 225. If he could get to that 240 range, he could be a prime linebacker in this league. But with that being said, that goes into my next topic of the linebacker room. I think it's our thinnest right now. We got Pat Queen, obviously. We're kind of
We gotta
the same
keep
as
Queen,
last year.
man. We gotta keep Queen. These people saying get rid of Queen are crazy. I'm a huge fan. I'm not trying to cut you off, but this Queen stuff gotta stop, y'all. If we get rid of him, then you know how thin our linebacker room really is.
Queen picked it up towards the end of the year too. That's something I look at because when you acquire dudes who are coming from a different way, a different team, a lot of people expect them to just immediately impact. But you're coming, obviously Baltimore Steelers is kind of like it's pretty much the same culture wise, but it's still a different system. I think he started finding his groove towards the end of the season, so I'm excited to see because we didn't sign him to a deal yet, have we?
I don't think, but I know he's on a deal, right? Like that, people are saying we're going to trade him. He's on a deal still.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with him. And the thing with him, let's be honest, the proof is in the put. Like it's pretty obvious. He doesn't need him. He had Raquan Smith, bro, one of the best backers in the league. Then he came over here. He had Peyton Wilson as a rookie, I believe. And some help from Landon Roberts, which is a thumper. And if we were to pick him back up, I wouldn't be mad at the depth there, but. Peyton Wilson's a guy I'm super high on because I think the future is bright with him.
Absolutely.
The now isn't necessarily as bright as it's going to be, of course. That's why we develop players. That's why it's the NFL. And you got a guy like Patrick Queen coming into a system where he's supposed to be the one now, the green dot, and he's not, in my opinion. He's not going to be that guy ever. And that doesn't, just like how I talk about Jalen Warren, that doesn't mean he's a bad player. I just don't think he's going to be the main, because he's inconsistent at times. We'll be honest, like, on this show, there's games where we come in and we're like, yes, like, he just balled out. There's just like similar to what he said about Peyton Wilson. There's nothing missing. Like, Peyton's is weight. I'd say Patrick Queen, the only thing he's missing is consistency, which isn't, the best thing to be missing, but it's also like he got all the tools. He has all of the tools.
Exactly.
He's a
the
great
thing I'll say about
player.
Queen, my fault again.
No, you're good.
What I say about Queen is just that he's always in position. I mean, there's time he misses a fair amount of tackles. That's his biggest problem. So if he could just shore that up, I think he's good. He's not terrible in coverage.
He overthinks, it seems, when he hits. I'd say like I'm not Mr. Tackle like 101.
I think he tries to make
either goes for the hard thud or for the secure. Like, let's just bring him down. He never goes in the middle of it and just gets like, you know what I mean? Like, I always see him like overusing his body. Like, he needs to watch some Vince Williams tape. Because when Vince Williams, I know they're different players, but when Vince Williams took guys down, it was either the steady rate or every once in a while when he got that clean lick, it was because he knew he had that clean lick.
Yeah,
Patrick Queen will try to get a clean, crazy lick one-on-one against a dude like Jalen Waddle coming across the field. Like, bro, you're not as fast. You're not going to be able to make that type of hit. So he just honestly, he needs to fine-tune drill work. If he gets his drill work type stuff, his cadence down on tackling, he's a great player for us. That's the thing. Like, this guy needs coached up.
He needs to slow his motor down sometimes. Like I said, he's in position. There's times where he comes on blitzes and he's right in the quarterbacks, and you're like, what the hell? How did the quarterback get away from this?
Yeah.
But that's kind of who we've been the past century. Is like we haven't been a great tackling team. I'm hoping that changes. I'm hoping the defensive coordinator brings something new to the table. We'll see. We'll see what we have. But yeah, I like our signings a lot. Now, moving into the draft, I think we're going to talk about who we should acquire and what rounds. And it don't necessarily got to be who, but it could be position based.
Yeah, he's going to know the names more than me. I'm not really. I lack in college football IQ, which is a bad thing because if you love football, you should probably love that the most. It's the most. It's getting a little different. But yeah,
but obviously with NIL,
with the NIL is getting a little different, but it is the most like raw football you can get. Same with basketball, NCAA tournament, March Madness going on. Like, that's the best basketball you can watch. The league guys will tell you that. And I'm not a big hoops guy or nothing, but I should be into college football more. But yeah, he knows the names more. I can tell you the positions, that I think we should pick up on.
I'll start by saying, even with the signings of Pittman, I still think it's in our best interest to go. I think we got the most picks in the second round? Or second round we got 2.
Third round we got like 3.
So I think,
which we'll probably trade a good amount of them away. I would say, but
we could hit some of the needs that we need to in the second and third round. I wouldn't be mad at that. But I think off rip we have to get a wide receiver, whether it's Cornell Tate from Ohio State, whether it's Mekhi Lemon from USC, Jacoby Lane from USC, a couple guys off the top of my head.
I even got from Arizona State.
A sleeper guy. I don't think. Arizona State. Yeah, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be there at 21. Who knows what moves we'll make in the trade, but in the draft. But we'll just speak on no movement. We'll just speak on like where we're picking at. So hopefully, if he falls there, you got to grab him.
Mm-hmm.
But if not,
I heard his injury proneness might get him on the lower side of things. But
yeah, it's a Pickens situation with me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he's so talented that it's like, why not take that risk? You know, I know like he's that guy. Jordan Tyson. If you guys are into college football the past couple years, then you know he was that guy. So
I'll take him.
Yeah,
I'll take that. I don't care about the injury proneness either. We'll take that. I mean, George came and did his thing for us. You know, that's as much as we didn't get nothing out of it. I would never regret I would never regret as a Steelers organization taking a chance on a guy like Pickens because now.
Oh my God, we had Pickens, Pittman, and
oh my God,
but
I would be running through the street right now.
Yeah, that's just a dream. But yeah, so I think first round we should go wide receiver. That's just me. I can see us going in the direction of a tackle, even a linebacker. Like I can see them.
I'd be mad.
Jacob Rodriguez.
I'd be so mad if it's not a wide receiver.
There's a dude from Texas Tech and like college ball knows, you know what I'm talking about, the Jacob Rodriguez dude. I'm very high on him.
The linebacker?
Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, he is a dog.
But I'm not saying he's a first round grade, but if we could get him in the second, won't be mad at that.
I'm flexible on the second right now on what we take. Just because I know they're not going to double dip back.
As long as we grab a receiver, honestly, I don't give a damn.
You know.
Like if I'm being honest, I don't think we're too far away at any position to where it's like, oh, like obviously we're not gonna think anyone's the guy that we're drafting in the fifth round, sixth round, whatever the case. I don't even know if we have picks in those rounds, but I don't think.
I think we have a pick in every round this year.
Shout out to us. I know we got the most picks this year.
Yeah,
so.
and it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I'm sliding, by the way.
I'm sliding.
You sliding? You sliding the draft? Maybe.
Depends. I probably won't be there the first day, but I
might
might go to the
it'd probably be better to go to. I'm going the first day because I'm an idiot. But it'd probably be better to go on
the second day is gonna be a Friday, so that's why
and it's gonna be less people. I'd hope.
They said there's gonna be approximately 700,000 people.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna suck.
The thing is,
it's gonna smell crazy.
You're not getting out of Pittsburgh until at least.
You're not getting home until 3 a.m.
You gotta think because the draft is not. You gotta think.
My babysitter spend the night. They better get the pillow out.
Yeah, you gotta damn near draft the hotel. You know what I mean? not draft the hotel. But the prices for that is crazy. I was looking at it. Me and my dad was gonna go.
I mean, have you seen what they're doing?
My bad. What you saying?
They're like.
They're redoing the whole entire infrastructure of Pittsburgh, and people are giving their houses out for Airbnb. People that live in like Swickley are giving their houses out for Airbnb for like the drafts.
Yeah,
your dad was looking at the price.
Yeah, he was looking at hotel prices. It was outrageous.
Crazy.
So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I might watch it from the comfort of my house. I don't know.
I would rather most likely, but knowing my older self. Part of it is telling me like it's history.
It is. So
it's like
I kind of do gotta go.
Yeah,
I kind of do gotta go.
But me,
sorry, Brian, I'm calling off work.
I was gonna say I requested a day off. I think it got approved. If it didn't, then if it were not to, then it's a wrap. Because I'm one of those guys that if I got work in the morning, maybe I'll stay up longer in my garage like right now. But I am not gonna be out nowhere. No. Now for this though, it is a little. It's a little toss-up for sure. But yeah, the draft is here, so having the most picks is very, movie. It's almost like a movie. First round, it has to be wide receiver for me, or I'm going to throw some at the TV, or if I'm there, I'm going to punch somebody in the head. And then, second round, don't care really. I've heard people addressing that, maybe they'll pick up a safety. I think our safety room has 4 starters in it right now.
You're not touching safety.
We have 4 starters
I'll be
right
hot. Now, if we grab a safety, I'll be hot.
Linebacker, like he said, I would be cool with a linebacker pickup as long as they don't mess with my boy Peyton Wilson snaps because, man, I'm a big Peyton Wilson guy. But
I love Peyton Wilson. But you know what? I think bringing a young guy in and instead of a veteran guy, kind of the same situation with Roman. Obviously, Peyton's higher up on the pedestal when it comes to the Steelers. But I think a young guy could motivate another young guy to be like, oh no, this is my shit. You drafted him, oh you think I'm not him?
Yeah.
Bringing in a veteran, it's it's still competition, but it's oh, this guy he's on a 1-year deal, so he might carve a rule until I get to where I need to be. So you might be more lackadaisical in your approach. But I think you bring in someone from the draft, that's kind of telling you, oh shit,
and same with Queen, honestly, too, with his inconsistency. Hopefully, Well, a guy like P-Dub is probably already pushing him and vice versa. But the linebacker room period, a young stud would be great for everyone to get pushed. You know, even Cole Holcomb trying to be a spell guy.
I love the linebacker from Pitt, Lewis. He was the best graded coverage guy.
Isn't he the guy that Cam Lindsey's taking his spot now? That he left?
I think so. Yeah. Shout out to Cam too.
Yeah, I love Cam Lindsey, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Cam. He's going to ball for Pitt this year.
For sure.
He'll be a guy that we talk about in the future for sure.
Yeah, he's a guy that hopefully, you know, it rolls around. He could be a Stiller. He could come home too.
Yeah.
I've been watching him since high school. I think everybody in this area has been watching him since high school. I mean, Twitter, he's the biggest hitter in the last couple of years on Twitter. Every time you see him.
Shout out to Cam.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm not going to get into the later rounds. That's a toss up who will grab. It'll probably be about needs at that point. I mean, the whole draft is about needs, but you're kind of just feeling. I mean, not needs. You're probably going for the guy that's just who's the best available in the later rounds. We'll see what movement we do. I wouldn't be mad if we got rid of a couple picks to get a top 10 guy.
Of course, if you get a top 10 guy, I don't care if he plays janitor. I'll take him. Our needs, honestly, receiver. Like, I think we have to double dip. Receiver, I said this last episode. Receiver, we have to get a round 2 and a round 1. Or not round 2. Round 3 and a round 1. Round 2, I understand. Our positions of need, I think we need offensive line depth. So if we were to take an offensive lineman / middle linebacker, since both of those are thinner, I'll take that in round 2. That's fine. Anything else, I think, would be a bit blasphemous. Round 3, this sounds crazy. I would not be mad if you have multiple round 3 picks, you use them, and you get a guy like Drew Allar if he's there. Allar. I know that sounds crazy. We haven't got the quarterback yet, only because, you know, if Aaron doesn't come back, which we both talked before. Sorry, we probably going to get into this at the last minute, but it's coming out. Aaron hasn't re-signed. I think he's a dick because he talks about no one attention, and clearly he loves being the main story in the NFL every year. But I was going to get to quarterback is a need, if we're being honest. It is a need. Mason Rudolph's old. He's not going to do nothing. Will Howard is a 6th-rounder that I am high on, but let's be honest, like, he's still a 6th-rounder. So, you know, giving him competition at least if Aaron were to not come back, mostly after this free agent market just got cleared out. Malik Willis and Kyler Murray have found homes. A guy that I wouldn't be mad still in free agency, unless I'm wrong, Mac Jones, if he were to come here. Did he go somewhere? I don't know. Mac Jones, I'll take him. Yeah, Mac Jones, I would take Mac because I think he has a resurrection opportunity compared to
you seen that in San Fran. He won a bunch of games. He has some guys around him. I think my stance on Will change just a tad bit because I do feel like I'm still with the sink or swim method, but in the same breath of that,
I heard he's getting traded.
It's gonna be hard because we're watching us pick up some good pieces that's going obviously give Steelers fans hope to contribute immediately. So it's kind of like now you might be looking like who's the best guy available, but who says that's Aaron Rodgers? I mean, obviously, like we won some games that we could have lost last year. Who's to say that we come out on the winning side of those games this year? There was nothing like he's good. You know, when he had time, he found guys. He didn't play bad for us. He was pretty much what I thought he would be. But last year I spoke on him because I thought it was going highly because I thought it was going to be a 1-year experience. So yeah, I'm kind of like through that ship a little bit. It kind of settled for me. It will be less exciting watching him trot onto the field, in my opinion.
It's the safest option. It's not the. If we're not going to win
are
this
we
year,
tired of safe? And I know
we get entertainment at least. Like, right?
We're tired of safe. Like I'm tired of safe. I'd rather us just go out there, get a young guy, surround him with weapons. Let's see what he could do. Another guy, you said Drew Allar, a guy that I will put maybe a step above him is the shirt I'm wearing, Garrett Nussmeier. He was one of the best quarterbacks 2 years ago. He was supposed to be the number 1 quarterback off the board this year. He didn't have the best year this year, but in his defense, I will say this. He was dealing with a rib injury the whole year he was playing. We eventually sat him out because of it. And 2, our O-line was terrible last year for LSU. So he was getting pressured on probably like 70% of the snaps. So if we give him, I like where our O-line is headed, young, talented. So if we Garrett Nussmeier could be nice. He could be nice. He could be one of those guys.
I heard 3 big names of quarterback that people are looking at right now.
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck, they just took him in. I heard a guy say that if Mike McCarthy had to look at Carson Beck and then look at Will Howard right now, he would make Carson Beck the starter easy. That's what he said. Now,
kind of crazy to me.
I don't love it because I've seen the guy's consistent. He has an arm and he's big. Okay, and that's kind of what I look at with Will Howard as well. But Carson Beck isn't appetizing to me.
He's up and
Drew
down.
Aller, I didn't like him at Penn State when I was a Penn State fan, only because in the big games he had bad decision making.
He's one of the most talented.
He's very talented, so he's way more appetizing. And then the last name that has been brought up a lot by Steeler fans, Carson Beck, Drew Aller, and see, this isn't gonna happen because we'd have to move up or like not take a receiver. But a lot of people are starting to talk about Ty Simpson. He's like the dart of last year. Like people are randomly like, oh yeah, Ty Simpson, which. He bought the dart last year, but he's a second, right? He's a second in the draft, or the second rated.
I was just saying today, Mel Kiper, he predicted him to go actually to who got the number 1 pick this year?
Raiders.
The Raiders. They was saying, no, that's not who.
I was gonna say I thought Buddy was a lock in for them, right? Mendoza.
Mendoza's obviously the lock, but they were saying, was it the Raiders? No, it was someone else, but they were saying might draft him at, I think it was like 14 or 16 or something like that. What I'll say about Ty Simpson is he doesn't have a lot of starts, which is honestly, to me personally, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if you do look at the trend, guys who started a lot of games are the ones who are kind of producing right now. Jane Daniels, Jackson Dart, list goes on and on. Bill Nix, all these guys who played multiple years, which is why I like a Carson Beck. I like a Garrett Nussmeier. These are guys who got experience. Nussmeier is the most talented passer of all the groups. If you watch his tape, he layers balls. And that's no bias. That's no bias.
I was just playing.
That's really no bias, though. If you watch what he did 2 years ago, he was a monster. Like everyone.
No,
the reason why everyone thought he was coming out.
Not even we. A guy like me that hardly watched college, I knew Nussmeier's name. Yeah, so
Nussmeier's a dog, and he's one of those dudes like he got that dog in him. And what I want to say about Carson Beck is he's very emotional. He's very up and down. You see it when he loses.
Don't like that.
When he loses, he doesn't take it well. If you watch the national championship game, he didn't want to shake no one's hand, which I understand that he a moment you just lost a game. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna say, oh, we're not down because I don't mind that, But
I like people that.
I don't like guys who are up and down. If you watch Will Howard, he's humble in his approach. He's confident in his approach. I think Will Howard and Carson Beck are pretty similar. I think Will Howard got better legs. I think Will Howard's skill set is why I'm so intrigued on letting him do the job, is because you got Dowd. You got Warren.
Everybody's talking about him. Aaron Rodgers talking about him. Our coaching staff. This can't be all just smoke. We already got him. It's not like they're trying to boost his stock to go get traded.
And of course, there's a difference because they're speaking highly on him. There's some guys you're not gonna speak bad on a teammate, right? You might give a fair weather answer, but when a coach got a whole segment about you and what you could bring to the table, and he doesn't
without
keep
even
it
being
short,
asked.
Yeah, so
nobody asked about Will Howard, and out of nowhere, Mike McCarthy's big ass was like, "I really like that Will Howard guy."
I like he's a winner. Go look at his track record, man. Like you go watch Kansas State. He won the Big 12 championship with him. Kansas State is not a football school. Well, you could say they're a football school, but they're not an elite football school. They're not.
He won where he went. He won where he went
and won a national championship. So there's something. There's something deeper than just play that I look into when it's Will Howard. It's the intangibles, his IQ, and his leadership qualities. Is huge. That's huge. Who was it that just took? He reminds me of a Sam Darnold. He might not do a whole bunch. And I'm not saying he's not playing style wise, but just in the aspect of a leader, a guy that's a leader, but also a guy that
he doesn't seem scared of failure. That's kind of what they said about Sam Darnold. But I'll let you finish. But he's not worried about failure. He's kind of
just great leadership. One of them dudes that he's gonna come in. He's gonna work hard. I think his ceiling is. I think his floor is actually pretty high. If that makes sense. His floor is not. I know I say sink or swim, but I don't think we'll necessarily sink or swim with a guy like Will Howard. I think he'll come in and he'll prove a lot of people wrong.
Worst comes to worst, I mean, like we said before the show started, and we both are like exact on Aaron is he's our safest option to go 10-7 and losing the first round of playoffs. Will Howard, like he said, like before the show started, like we would be more accepting of that because the whole Aaron Rodgers thing is like, oh, I got one more in me and I'm a Hall of Famer. Okay, we're gonna be expecting like top tier. Stop it. We're gonna be expecting like top tier. Regardless of how much we know you've slowed down, we're going to be expecting something to the game. You know, your mental. That's what everybody was talking about last year, right? Your mental's so sharp. With Howard, you're going to be willing to, you know, lay out some practice pads and say, even in games, like, okay, we lose this one, but we're going to see week to week him progress rather than we got to win now with Aaron. So
and you see a trend too. Like I bought into it. I'm not gonna lie. I bought into the veteran, the knowing how to control the line of scrimmage and all that stuff. I bought into all that stuff last year, but just go look at the trends, man. You go look at who was there and who did the Seahawks play in the
Rams.
The Rams. Okay, they had no.
You
Who did play in the NFC Championship?
The Rams.
Was it the Rams?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to the Rams. That was the
Stafford
is the only guy out of the 14 that, well, I guess you could put Sam Darnold in like the upper echelon era in terms of like age, but Bo Nix wasn't there, but he brought them there.
No, I just said that to Justin.
Drake May.
AFC was all
James
young
Daniels
cats.
the year before as a rookie.
CJ, all young guys.
I'm kind of through that ship of like, oh, a veteran, like, cool.
NFL
that doesn't
don't
mean
need that
you're
no more, bro.
That doesn't matter.
Sam just won a Super Bowl, right? Like, do I have way more respect for Sam Darnold than, like, on the Vikings, I had a lot of respect for him, and I know a lot of people lost it his last playoff game. Huh? But what y'all got to realize is Sam Darnold isn't a premier quarterback in this league. Yes, he's one of the top quarterbacks right now, in my opinion, because I don't let rings go unnoticed. So right now, like just like last year, I'm going to anoint. I always was big on Jalen. I just lost my thought. Jalen Hurts. But of course, he's also not a premier quarterback in this league. He's not a guy that you're putting up there with Allen and Burrow and Mahomes. But right now, you don't need Rodgers and his. Obviously, you don't want his shell of himself. But yeah, the trend right now, like a Will Howard fits right now. He's fast enough to get your running game going. Pass it like he can scramble. He can RPO.
Right, give us Kenny Pickett, I'll be more happy than A-Rod. Honestly, like, I don't care what no one.
Nah,
I'm not saying he's better than A-Rod. I'm just saying.
See, like, I'm not against it because there's obviously I'm against that because who Kenny is and what happened. But in terms of just like if he was a blank name,
I'm halfway joking, right? But
obviously, but I get what you're saying.
In the same breath, it's like
Super Bowl champion you're talking about.
It's the
same amount as
you just said you can't take away rings.
I mean, yeah, no, like with all the greatness, A-Rod obviously he's top 5 all time.
But he's not bringing nothing right now.
But he got one ring. I mean, let's keep it real here. You know, he got one ring. Unfortunately, against the.
Can't remember who he beat.
And also the dickhead that's our head coach now was with him. So.
Yeah, but let's not sit here and act like he's Brady going in and out of Super Bowls every year.
No.
So. And my point in that is, what are we looking for? Are we looking to compete? Are we looking to, find our guy? You can't find your guy when you're sitting here and you're like, oh, we're gonna sign back this 42-year-old man.
Like, only guy above 38 I'm willing to take a chance on that obviously we won't be able to is Matt Stafford because he's still at the top of his game. Right? Like it's really an age thing for me. Like even if Aaron played a little bit better than he did last year, which I'm not saying he played bad, I'm not saying he played great. Like, I'm just not sold on bringing a new roster together, constructing, it a certain way to mold into this new coaching staff and bringing a dude that played with you in Green Bay all the way. But, like, what if as a Steeler fan, the last time we were in the Super Bowl, we're watching the Green Bay game, and somebody comes, a little fairy comes in here, hey, you're not going to win shit for years, and then guess what? These same two guys are going to be on your team in 2026. Do you expect a guy to be still, like, that's kind of sorry in my opinion. Like, as a Steeler fan, like, I like homegrown stuff. Like, I don't want Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy to be the tandem that tries to bring us back from, like, resurrection.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just, maybe I look at it in a prideful way as a Steeler fan, but, like, I'd much rather a Will Howard come.
But it's valid because at the end of the day, that's what made The Steelers great. I mean, go look at the guys who produced for us over the years. They were draft picks. I mean, we had Jerome Bettis, guys that we acquired, but obviously free agency wasn't as crazy back in the day as it is now.
Yeah.
But with that being said, that was one of the things Steelers did the best was developing guys. So
I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of this shit, bro. Just like Mike McCarthy's the quarterback whisperer, right? That's what we've been hearing. Hopefully, it comes true in this town, regardless of if he is with us for a long time period. If he gives us just a solid quarterback, like a literally top 13 quarterback, I'll be cool. Because like we have been saying, like that's probably where Sam Darnold's ranked right now. Like not 13, but he's probably in that mix there.
yeah,
You don't need
you could
a top
stamp him
5.
as a top 15 quarterback now.
For sure. I'd probably even go top 10 right now just because of, the ring. But the way it fluctuates is year by year, game by game. But yeah, like show us and don't prolong it because at this point this year is a big draft. And you got, like we said, the home appeal is going to be here and all that. But if you're a real quarterback whisperer and you're so high on Will Howard, you got to give him his opportunity now because if not, next year we're going to get a high pick.
Exactly.
We're going to have to. If he's not the guy and you don't trust Mason, which I don't think any of us do, then what are you going to do? Wait for free agency next year? No. Next year, if Will Howard doesn't get his chance and we're not fully sold on him, we are going to have to trade up next year. And that's like anybody can see that coming from a mile away. And that's the other positive with Aaron is good enough to, yes, make us sail high enough to be in the conversation. But if Will does end up sucking, cool. We got a pick now. We got a high pick. And yes, I know it's not a Steeler thing, but we've been saying this like, I'll take 1 year. I'll take 1 year off. If we can get a quarterback in the system, a round one guy, then I'm cool. Like, but yeah, that's basically all I gotta say is, man, this Aaron stuff, like, I get why people are sold. Like, obviously, this is a different roster for him. He probably would do better. But at the end of the day, like,
I think that would fade out quick, and that's my thing. I think he would be our starter, and we could mess around, start off 2-2 or something along those lines, and we're just gonna be like, oh well, I thought all we're gonna say is, oh, I thought Aaron Rodgers with more weapons would be better because last year he didn't have any. But let's be real, like, I don't think that's true. In my opinion, I just think like that ship has sailed. I understand it. I think he did some good things for us last year, but he's not super mobile. He takes away from the O-line because at the end of the day, like, O-line's not going to be perfect. I don't care how good the O-line is. What makes Jalen Hurts so effective is he could get out of those pressures. He could, just as good as what his O-line can make him look, he can make them look equally as good with his escapability.
mobility is so important, and everybody knows
It's
that.
super important. Even a guy like Drake May, who's not, you wouldn't necessarily, well, you could put him as a dual threat because he kind of is, but he could take off when he wants to. That's the type of guy we need. That's the type of thing I think Will Howard could bring. You don't become a national champion by mistake. Even with a team like Ohio State, we said it before, we could go through the list of quarterbacks that were so highly talented going into the draft. The Justin Fields, the Dwayne Haskins, the freaking C.J. Strauss, all these guys who were so elite didn't win the national championship with loaded receiver rooms, just as loaded as what Will Howard had with Jeremiah Smith and Cornell Tate, and Egbuka. I mean, they had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. on the same team. So they had just as talented guys, and they weren't able to get the job done. So I think that speaks volumes. Some people might think it doesn't, but I think it does. I think there's a reason why he elevates teams that he goes to. There's qualities. Sometimes it's not always about who has the most arm talent. Sometimes it's about who could read things quicker. Sometimes it's about who could get the ball out quicker. Sometimes it's about just getting the ball getting your playmakers the ball, or it's about being able to escape, get it, turn a negative play into something positive. Whether that's a yard, I don't care. Just something that's not a 16-yard sack because Aaron Rodgers can't move out the pocket. I don't want to see it. at all. Like I don't want to see it. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan. I love the Steelers. I'll root regardless. But it would take away a little bit for me of the excitement factor.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's kind of where I am on. That's kind of all I got.
Yeah, me too. The last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna cap it off with this: is the most important position in football, so and possibly in sports. So I'm gonna say that too. My ideal quarterback room does not include Aaron Rodgers for this year, based on where we're at and where I think we are gonna go with him. I say thank you for the 1 year and the retro pictures and all that cool stuff. You know, I think you're the best quarterback ever in terms of talent. Mahomes is coming up on you, but, you know, shout out to Aaron Rodgers. But my quarterback room that I would assemble right now, he just told me that Mac Jones is still under contract. I thought he was about to be a free agent. Either way, real late round draft pick for him. I would get Mac in here. Obviously, Will. I would let Mason walk and try to get a late round guy that has a lot of upside, like, you know, Nussmeier, which I'm not saying he's going to go 7th or nothing, but maybe get him in the, I don't care. Take someone in the 3rd if you want, you know. We're not the Cleveland Browns, but get a guy in the draft. Go get Mac Jones. Get Will Howard. I know that sounds like a lot throwing, but let them battle it out. Like, I know people are saying, oh, Will shouldn't just be handed the job. Okay. Like, that's my ideal quarterback room. And even if you do keep Mason, you don't get a draft pick. You got Mac, Mason, and Will Howard. Let them all battle it out. That's how I feel. I don't want Aaron Rodgers, but that's my final take. Ideally, I would love to see Will Howard as quarterback 1. I'd like to see Mac Jones like fight him out for it, but lose, to be honest. And then later round draft pick guy just come and be a little bit of glue, like in the room, try to learn as much as he can and soak it in. But Mac Jones, if he were to end up being our starter, I would be more excited than I would be with Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely,
for sure, for sure. Because Mac Jones is still a vet, in my opinion. You know, not even my opinion. That's just on paper, but he's a vet. He's been coached under Belichick. He had good times last year with San Fran. A lot of his development reminds me of like a Danny Jones or like, you know, guys that still have a little glimmer. But
because Daniel Jones, he had a real good year in New York that got him paid. Same way Mac Jones had a Pro Bowl season with the Patriots before I forget who he went to, what the second team was he went to that kind of like.
Let me feel, I forget.
That he kind of fell off a little bit before San Fran acquired him.
I'm forgetting too.
But I think Mac Jones is.
He could be the next Sam Darnold. Who knows?
Yeah. He's way more promising than seeing A-Rod out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's hot takes possibly, which I like. A lot of people for some reason are very, very like in their ways about Aaron should come back, and honestly, I think that's the soggy.
Those are also the same guys that will sit there and tell you when the season's over and we go 10-7 that, oh my God, we don't never want to change. We don't never want to take no risk. You have to take a risk at some point. Why not do it now?
Yeah,
that would be my biggest question. Why not do it now? You're acquiring guys that's going to make us a legit offense. Rico Dowdle. No matter who you have at quarterback, you know the run game is going to be good. You know the O-line's only getting better. Yeah. You know we got 2 legit receivers now. If you give us a third, we have a great room. Right now we have a good room.
It's a perfect time for a young quarterback to see what he could do. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers. If he's like, the last thing I'll say is if he is like, my gut tells me he's already a Steeler. My gut tells me that he already said yes, and they said yes. But if it is true what some insiders have said, that it's still like hanging in the air, I shame on Mike McCarthy, shame on Omar Khan, shame on everyone for not trying to figure something out in free agency already. I'm not saying sign Kyler and all them, but you should have been making calls, and it should have been apparent. Like, these insiders would know. Hey, they called and talked to this guy, that guy. Maybe they did. Maybe I missed something. All I'm going to say is if you're letting a 43-year-old make you wait for, like cross your fingers, like, oh, hopefully he comes back, then you are all out of line. But I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure he already signed without signing. And we'll see that in probably the next couple weeks, I'd guess. But either way, I think it's really sad that you're having a guy like that make you wait. The name isn't what we care for as actual football watchers. I don't care what your name is. Jalen Ramsey.
Not A-Rod from 10 years ago. Simple.
No. Jalen Ramsey, for instance, if he doesn't start this year, I would not lose sleep. Like, it was Jalen Ramsey, yeah, but it ain't that version of him. So, yeah, that's all we got to say. It was, that was, I'd hope that we have an episode out soon because that means more stuff's happening. So let's see what Mark Khan can do, and the rest of the guys, see if we're going to cook up a little bit more. So, yeah, that's it.
Peace.
Peace.